Hello everyone. Thought I would make a quick mess out of this video, or a quick video out of this mess. That's what I probably wanted to say. I bought some firewood, and it turned out to have a really wonderful piece of curly maple in there. And so that got me thinking knife handles and this and that, and then I thought, well, it's long enough to make a little hatchet handle, surely. And so that's what I've been up to, my little Halloween project. So I got some of the tools I've been using. This mallet I made a while back, really been coming in handy. Oh, here's the head. One I had. Found it in some thrift store or antique shop around here for $10. No maker's mark as I can discern. So if you look at it, it seems to have a bias off to that side. Now that could be deliberate, because this could have been meant for a framer or something. In fact, I'm kind of thinking that probably was the deal, you know. Kind of reinforcing myself in the conclusion. I mean, to start out, I figured they just kind of made it wonky, right? But it really does seem to, you know, maybe be deliberate. And they put this hollow here and this curve that way. So it'll give you a flat cut cutting this way. So maybe that really ought to have a bent handle on it that curves out. Great, I'm having the crisis on video. I mean, I kind of have already been having these thoughts, but anyway, this handle is attempting to be as straight as it gets. Now this part looks wonky up at the top there, because it is, but that is actually in order to compensate. When I put this on, it should look like it's trying to put this in alignment as much as possible, which you can see is not really straight. It's got kind of a curve on the cutting edge there. Now again, that could be deliberate. That could be deliberate, because if they're using it to cut this way, oh man, I just figured it out, huh? It's because I was thinking I'm going to grind this straight, but maybe it wants to be like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it'll go on further, but that's kind of aligning the cutting edge with what's going on in the handle. The edge, yeah? Let me do the thing. Yeah, really slim down this end here, tapers out quite a lot. But of course that means I can get thinner in this orientation as we're going up. And I'm keeping the groovies, keeping it groovy. When you chop in, for example, even chopping in with this very sharp workhorse right there, you'll tend to kind of half cut, half tear out along the grooves. Now with care, you can then remove them with a knife, but of course that's easier with a file or whatever. But I figured maybe I'll just keep them, you know? Because this is the going with the, you can't really see, but in fact, you're getting the impression from the curliness that the grain is going in this direction. But that's the curls. The actual grain is it going in the right direction. It's going in that direction, the grain, right? In fact, you can see up here, there's a split, which appeared once I started cutting in here. It's a shame oh well, let me demonstrate the mallet now quickly. What was I saying? Yeah, once I started to cut into this block here, that crack appeared, but I don't think it's really going to be a problem. In any case, because of that crack and because of this, and just, you know, in the interests of whatever overall maximum robustness, I'm going to epoxy this in. So I have to cut out the groove for the wedge there, tidy this all up a bit more. But shape-wise, I think we're about there. Also, so down here, some cracks kind of appeared. That stuff there. But again, I think it's all stable. So epoxy and just finish it. Yeah, so I wanted to show the knives that I was using. So as I say, and I tried filming this already with the camera static, but I just wasn't getting the lighting that I wanted, you know, to be able to show off the knives. Yeah, the workhorse. Exodus knife and tools. Just kind of performs really a lot like a fine hatchet, you know, but it's the geometry is kind of finer than you'd find on most hatchets, this flat grind. So blended and convexed slightly by yours truly. Rough finished. But very sharp. Oh yeah. You already saw the mallet. I use this a little bit, the small fly. It's a good blade for everything, really, whittling included. You can see some sticky probably on there. I've been doing some box cutting, and this thing's a phenomenal box cutter as well. Just fantastic, one of the best box cutters. Fairly thick in the spine, and you know, not the sliciest thing, especially from Spyderco looking, but man, this slices, and it whittles. The geometry on this blade is worthy of study, really. Lovely. But that kind of gave way to, oh, well, mostly I was using, to start out, I was using this Pulco. Tactical Pulco, it's called, by Aponchenko. Anton Aponchenko. I think he's in Poland. I might be mistaken. Very fine knife. Pulco, kind of, but it's got this amazing swedging going on. It's got this sharpening choil that I am not a fan of that, really. Or the Ricasso, super very much. And the handle is a bit short by Pulco standards. But it has this amazing shaping to it. It's very fine up here. This is, I guess, is supposed to be a bow drill divot. As you can see, I haven't tried it. Just change hands here. For no particular reason. Yeah, but this is good for the kind of sweeping cuts. But later I got into the small fly a little bit, just, you know, fiddling. And then most lately I was using the Max Ace capsule, which I've just been carrying in my pocket for a few days for fun. And, you know, testing it out here and there. I always figured this one for a whittler, and actually now that I've done a little bit of sharpening, a little bit of using, even put a little bit of oxidation on there somehow. MagnaCut, you wouldn't have thought that this practically unused knife in MagnaCut would show up with like rusty spots, but that was me. I can't remember what I did with it, but me and possibly the Max Ace heat treatment, if we're going to get speculative. You know, they say that the better the heat treatment, the less likely you're going to get oxidation. And it doesn't feel incredibly hard, but it feels great sharpening. So it has this kind of compound grind, and I put this tip area, I've had that flat on the stone now. So you can see that this was done as a slight hollow. This area, I've done that on a wheel. And I just put that flat in order to get me some thin behind the edge. So, maybe I can put this up on the table again and have a little whittle. So now on this part here, I've transitioned to a file that's lying around, so this rasp file here. You got your raspy side and your file side. And I'll be getting into the sandpaper as well. But these parts here, in order to kind of conserve the groove, I've kind of been whittling them out a little bit, you know. I'll kind of erase them and then whittle them out a bit again. Just so that I can go little by little, you know. And this is painstaking doing it this way, I guess. But it's really fun. Let me just whittle out this little groove here, and then we can take a look at it under the good light. This grind gives you this little toothy area just here. Sorry if that was all off camera there. And this thing is just, well, I knew it. I think I've gotten fairly good at, in the internet age, being able to look at a photo of a knife and say, I think I'd enjoy whittling with that knife. See, messy, tidy. We got him tidy. We got him all tidied up. And it's just a great feel in the hand. You know, smooth up here with these ridges there. Feels good. So, little by little, that's what we're doing. They made a yellow one as well, but I just had to go with the pink. Very satisfying. Happy Day of the Dead.